So in the
Yes, sir.
previous class, we had gone through the rating algorithm of these two. Okay. Now, in today's class, let us write another program, another algorithm for um, linear search. Now, I hope you know what we mean by searching an element in a given array, right? That is finding the presence of a particular element, and if it is present, then we say that search is successful, and we display the index of that particular element. Okay, if the element is not present, then we can say the search is unsuccessful. And the search method or the technique we are going to adopt is the linear search. Okay. So write an iterative and recursive algorithm of search of an element. Consider before we start the rating the algorithm, let us understand the concept here of the problem. Say if there are if there is an array of n equal to say 6. So n here means the number of elements in that particular array. Say 2, 6, 4, 7, 8, and 9 are the elements of a given array. So call the array by the name ARR. Okay, and you know the position or the index values of every element 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, if we want to search a particular element, call it to be a ELE. Okay, the element which we need to search. Suppose if the element we are going to search is, say, for example, 4, then the technique or the method which we will use in this particular algorithm is the linear search. So linear search means we start from one particular or the first position up to the last position, that is starting from the 0th index up to the last index. We keep on checking whether that particular indexed value is the element we need to search, right? So first time is the 2 is the search element. If it is true, then we can say that okay, search is successful, and then return the position, that is the index value of that. If it is not, then proceed to check the next indexed value. So here, what would be the search result, students? If the element is 4, what would be the search result? Is it successful?
Yes, sir.
If yes, so what will be the index value or
Two.
position?
Two.
We can say to be a position, it is 2. Suppose if the uh, element which we are going to search is 9, then what will be the result?
Search is successful.
Search is successful and is found at a position 5. Okay. What about element 90, that is 90?
Unsuccessful search.
Successful search. Very good. Right. So now one thing we need to notice is that in the linear search, most of the time we start searching the element from the first position, that is 0th index position up to the last index position. Okay. Now we can also search from the last element to the first element, that is 0th index element. In the other direction also we can search. Both will be called as linear search only, because the linear search concept is what? We need to search all the elements starting from one particular location. Suppose if we start from the beginning, then it will be index 0. If we start from the last index, that is 5th, we need to keep on searching index 5, then index 4, index 3, 2, 1, and 0. In this fashion also we can search. Both are called as linear search itself. Okay. First let us write the first algorithm that is iterative. Okay, first one is iterative. Iterative is pretty simple, okay, which you have already studied in the previous semester and all. Okay, so I don't think so there will be any difficulties in understanding that particular algorithm. Okay, let me write it here. Algorithm. Right, then let me call it as a linear search as the name of the algorithm, and then I'm going to write its body over here. Correct. Now first is that I need to read the elements or the read the data items over here. As you can see here, there are no parameters I am passing to this particular algorithm. That means externally I need to read all the elements here. So read. What are the elements I require here? What are the different data I need? First, I need the number of elements, right, that I need to read. So read n. N will give me the number of elements of that I'm going to read for a particular array. Then I require an array also, right? And then I require an element which I am going to search for or I'm going to look for. Yes. Now look at here the convention. Since I'm going to use an array, so I can just write it as A and a pair of brackets. Here I no need to write the what size it is and all. Okay, we can keep it empty. Okay. Now suppose if it is a two-dimensional array, then I need to specify a comma here that will indicate the A is going to be a two-dimensional array. But in this case, it is a single-dimensional array, so let it be a empty pair of square brackets. Okay. Now, so assuming that I have read the elements, assuming that I have read n number of elements, then I need to go for a linear search here. Okay. Now, for I will take a control variable I, whose initial value is 0, that is from the 0th index I need to go for. So what will be the final value here? For I equal to 0 up to I need to read for I is less than n. Then what will be the final value, students?
N minus
n
1.
minus 1.
Very good. So we need to understand this n minus 1 here. Okay. Sometime what will happen? Students will write for I equal to 0, I 2 here. They will just write it as a n. So that will cause a wrong answer. Then initial value, and do I need to write the step here? The clause step has to be written, or shall I go ahead without writing the step?
Without writing.
Without writing the step is good, because if I don't mention, so it is assumed as the step is by 1. Okay. Now what I need to perform here, so once starting from that is I equal to 0, I need to check whether the element at that 0th position, that is, or at ith position, is it equal to the element which I am reading here, right? So here what I can do, if element which I am searching, is this equals to array at the given position I. If it is true, then what I can say? I can say that, let me write a pair of brackets here. So let me say that search is successful. So write search is success, and I can also mention the position of that. So write position equals to whatever that particular position is. I can write it as I here. Okay. Now, if this particular condition is false, what has to be done? We have to move on to the next element and then check whether that particular positioned element, whether is it equals to the search element. Okay. Keep on doing this particular search until we reach the n minus 1th element. Once the n minus 1th element is reached and still this particular condition is false, that means the element is not present. The element is not present. In that case, we can go ahead and then put the message as search unsuccessful. Following, students?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now tell me, how can I handle here the search is successful or the search is unsuccessful? Now, if the search is successful, it is going to display over here. How can I handle the search unsuccessful scenario here? Can anyone think of it?
Sir, else.
Where else? So you mean to say
After
else I need to write here else?
Yes.
If I write else here, then I will get an undesired result. I will get an undesired result. Say that right here, if I write unsuccessful, then I will get an undesired result. How?
Only the first element will be checked.
Only the first element will be checked. For example, suppose if you take, let's say a simple example, 5, 10 and 15 are the three elements, 0, 1 and 2 are the index values. Suppose if I'm going to search for, say, 10, I'm going to search for 10. What will happen, students, here? Initially, I will begin with 0th index. So at the 0th index, so the element is 10. Is it 10 equals to 5? It is false. It is false means it will come here and it will display message as unsuccessful. It will display a message as unsuccessful. Okay, and then again the loop will continue. It will move on to the 1 index value, and that time it will check the element at the index 1 is 10 and 10 is equals to 10. That is true. Then it will say search is successful and the position 1 will be displayed. Then further it will go on to the next iteration. In the next iteration, index 2 will be checked, and this particular index 2, the 5 element is there. So 10 is equals to 5, condition again become false, then it will display unsuccessful. So with this approach, if I convert the algorithm into a program, and then it will display me a result as unsuccessful. Next time search is successful, position 1, then again unsuccessful, right? But this is not a desired result, right? This is not a desired output. So then how can we handle here? So this else is not definitely a answer or a solution for us. Can anyone think of how we can solve this problem? So here we need to have a particular, you can say a kind of a flag, right? So what we need to do is that we need to take a particular variable, say a flag. Let us update flag with 0 value. Initially, we are going to update flag with 0 value. Okay, and whenever the search is successful, I'm going to update that flag as 1. So flag will be equal to 1 whenever the search, the element which we are searching is found. That is, if the search is successful, then flag will be updated as 1. Okay, so here we don't require an else block inside the for loop, but we need to construct a statement if and else outside the for. Now, can anyone guide me here? I have given you a clue here how we can solve this one. What should I write now? Next statements. Mansi.
If the
Anyone?
If flag is equal to 0, unsuccessful.
If flag is equals to 0, then 8 successful. Does that make sense, students? Here
Yes, sir.
I no need to even write the then the else part here. Only a simple if would be sufficient. If the element is not found, then definitely this if condition would never be a true. That means flag would never get updated with a 1. It will remain as 0 only, right? And at the end, if the flag is still 0, that means the element is not found, that is search is unsuccessful. This is the algorithm for an iterative linear. Understood, students? Any doubts here?
No, sir.
Okay. Now we will move on to the next one. Next one is what? For recursive. The next one is recursive. Now, tell me how many algorithms I require here for recursive?
Main.
For main and the linear search. So I require two different conditions or two different algorithms here. Okay. Now pay attention and understand this particular algorithm. Algorithm is simple. Okay. Understand. Algorithm main. Okay. In main, what I will do, I will perform the operations like reading the numbers, reading the array, and reading the element. So read n, then the array, and then the element. Okay. Now I will take one particular variable in this case as position, POS. Okay, POS here is for the position. That position is nothing but the index value. Okay, yes. Position is equals to, what I will do is that I will call the search here, that is search algorithm. Let me call it as again linear search. Linear search is the algorithm or a procedure which I am going to call from the procedure main. Okay, this time I will pass the parameters. I will pass the parameters. What are the what will be the parameters here? First one is the array. So I can write it as a here. I can just write it as a because it is understood here is that means it is an array. Okay, then second one is the number of elements, that is n, and the third is the element which I need to search for. The element which I need to search for. Okay, understood this particular convention? I'm passing three parameters. First is the array, second is the number of elements, and third is the element which I am going to search for. Okay, then next. Here, next I will have an if and else. This if and else will help me to give the result whether the search is successful or not successful. Okay, so if write the statement here, later I will explain the meaning of meaning why we have written this particular condition. So the condition here will be the position less than 0, the position less than 0, then I can say that write say search unsuccessful. Okay. Then the other part, that is else. In the particular else part, what I will do is that I will write the other part, that is search is successful. Let me take these two lines because I require the same lines here. And instead of I will write it as position. Okay, I will explain the meaning or the why we have taken the condition as this later. Okay, just understand at this moment that okay, I will read all these three things and I will call the linear search procedure by passing those three things, and this linear search is going to return something, right? What it is going to return? It is going to return the index value. Okay, that index value I will store it into a variable position, POS. Okay, if this POS is greater than or equals to 0, remember, if the POS is greater than or equals to 0, that means search is successful and it is present at the location or position whatever it is being returned. If not, means suppose if the position is less than 0 here, less than 0 means the search is unsuccessful. Okay, that is the other way I have just explained it here. Okay. Now let us write the algorithm for this, that is linear search algorithm. So algorithm linear search. Okay, now tell me how many parameters it is going to take except
3.
3 parameters. What are those 3 parameters? What is first parameter?
A.
A. Now
Array.
here array. Say A is an array here. But in this particular procedure, that is in the main, first time I denoted it as an array A. When I'm passing, I'm just using it as a A. But when it comes to the linear search, it is another procedure. So here I need to explicitly tell that this A is an one-dimensional array. So I need to provide a empty square brackets followed by comma. Next, the second parameter, that is n, that is number of elements, and the third is ELE, that is the element which I'm going to search for. Okay, so these parameters which we are receiving in the linear search should exactly match with the number of parameters which we are passing and its particular data type. Okay, or the convention which I am passing here. Since A is an array, so we have just mentioned it to be an array here. Okay, this is same as the way which you had written the C programs, isn't it? Okay, now since we are going to write a recursive algorithm, so we should require two things. First one is what? We need to have a condition. At that particular condition, it should stop the procedure to go into an infinite loop. So that recursion, that the termination condition here is achieved by comparing the value. If n is equals to 0, then say return -1. Now think this, just understand why we have written n is equals to 0 here. Now tell me, what does this n contains? What does this particular variable n contains?
Total number of elements.
Total number of elements. So here, if the total number of elements are 0, if total number of elements are 0, is it possible for us to find any elements in that?
No, sir.
That means element is null. Element doesn't contain any, the array doesn't contain any of the elements. In such case, is it possible for us to search anything? Not at all. So in that case, we return a negative number -1. We return a negative number -1. If not means, suppose if this is, there are certain elements in the array. It could be one element or it could be greater than one element. So we need to go for an recursive search. So here we will have an else clause. In the else clause, let us have one more if condition. What this if condition says, if the element which we are searching, if it is equals to the array, okay, at the n-1 position, the array element at n-1 position. If it is true, then we have found the element, and what we need to do, we need to just return the position. The position here will be what? n-1. If this is also not the case, then what we need to do? Now let us understand this condition here. First one is understood. The next is else. That means assume that there are certain numbers, certain elements in the array. It is not empty. Then what are we trying to do here? We know the element which we need to search for, and also we know the last element, the index value of last element. The index value of last element will be what? n-1. There are n elements, and definitely the last element's index is what? n-1. What we will do is that we will compare both those two things, that is the element as well as the element at the last index value. If both are true, that means the element is present. The element is present. Just to give a simple tracing here, assume that, let us take written here. No, I just remove it. Okay. Say 5, 10, 15. Okay, let's take only 3. This is the array and this is the index values of that. So let us have 0, and the next will be 1, next will be 2. And the element which we are searching here, assume that the element is equals to 15. Okay, now these are the inputs what we have here. Try to trace this here, the things which we have written so far, right? Now here, n is 3. The n value in this case is 3. Array we have passed and the element is 15. Now, will this particular if condition becomes true here?
False.
False. So it will come to the else part. In the else part, if the element is it equals to array element at n minus 1th position. Now tell me, this condition is true or false?
True.
Condition is true. True means what? We have found the element, right? The 15 is present in the array. What we should return? We should return its index value, that is position. So what is the index value of this 15? It is nothing but the value which is passed as the index here, that is n minus 1. So simply return n minus 1. Now assume that if the element is not 15, say if it is 5, then will this condition becomes true?
False.
It becomes false. So now what we are trying to do here is that we are trying to go for a linear search from last positioned element towards the first positioned element. So we just check the last element here. So the element 5, is it equal to 15? No, it is false. Then what I should do now? I should go to its previous element. So that thing should be written in another else part here. Okay, this time I will call the procedure once again linear search, that is recursiveness. Linear search. By calling the next time, I need to pass the array, right? I need to pass the array, just specifies to be a. Then this time, instead of passing the total number of elements as n, I will pass the number of elements as n minus 1 with en. Look at the difference here. Next time when I call, I received n elements. Look at here. I received n elements, and out of these n elements, I have found that the last element is not the one which I am searching for. Then, since I need to exclude this element in the next search, that means what? Obviously, the total number of elements will be reduced by 1. So, next time when I call the linear search, instead of passing n as the number of elements, I will pass it as n minus 1. So, in the next second time when the linear search is called, that time the n will become 2 here. The n will become 2. Means the again linear search algorithm or the procedure is called. This time a is this itself, but n is 2. N is 2. That means there are only 2 numbers. I am going to look for between only 2 numbers. Okay. Now look for this condition. This condition becomes false. N is 2, but we are trying to compare with 0. It is false. It will come on to the else part. In the else part, then there is again a condition, that is if the element, that is 5, is it 5 equal to array element at n minus 1. N value is now, it is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. So that is index value 1. So is that 5 equals to 10? Again condition is false. Means it will move on to the else block. In the else block, again what I will do? I will recursively call the linear search this time. So linear search call, pass the array, but n minus 1 will be the number of elements. At present, n is 2, so n minus 1 will become 1 this time. It will become 1. So the third time the linear search is called, during that time, these are the array elements, but number of elements in that is only 1. I am going to look for only 1 element. Okay. Now, is n is equals to 0? No, condition becomes false. It will move on to the else block. In this else block, what do I have? Else, that is the element is equals to a of n minus 1. The n value is what? 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So at the position index, that is 0, we have 5. So is this 5 is equals to 5? Yes, condition, this particular condition becomes true. Since the condition has become true, it will enter into this if block and it will execute the next statement. Next statement is what? Return n minus 1. So again, we are terminating the linear search so that it never goes into an infinite loop here. So return n minus 1. Currently, the n value is what? 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So return 0 is done. So actually, what is that? 0. 0 is nothing but the index value of the element which we have searched successfully. Right? Followed, students, so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, assume that the element which we are searching, say it is 20. Assume that the element which we are searching is 20. What would have happened here? It would have started with the 20, that is for the second index value, it would have caught it as false. Then it would have gone to the next element, again it is not the one. Then it would have gone to the next element, then again it is not the one. Means when n was 1, that time also this condition has become false. This particular condition has become false when n was 1. Then it will go into the else block. This time what it will do? It will call the procedure again by passing a same elements as the array, but the number of elements will be what? N minus 1. N minus 1 means n value is what? It is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So this next time the n value will be 0. Right? So when the linear search is called again with n as 0, look at the first statement. If n is equals to 0, now tell me at this stage, will this particular condition becomes true or false?
True.
True.
True. The condition becomes true. That means you are trying to search the element where there are no elements you want to look for. In that case, we will return a negative number. Again, the linear search is stopped. Means the calling linear search is stopped here. Recursiveness is again terminated. So, in that case, what will happen? This minus 1 would have been returned. Where? Minus 1 would have returned at this particular place. So, we get the position as minus 1. Okay. Now, look into the next statements. If minus 1 less than 0, is it true? Yes, it is true. Then we will just display a message as search unsuccessful. If the return value is not minus 1, that means it can be 0, it can be 1, or it can be 2 also, depending upon the element which we are searching for. If the search is successful, definitely this algorithm is going to return a positive number, that is 0, 1, or 2. That number will be returned here by the linear search as the position. Then we will go into this particular else block and it will display search is successful and particular position is equals to that index value or position we will display. Is it understood, students?
Sir,
Yes,
I have
sir.
a doubt.
Yeah, go ahead, ma.
Sir, when we are searching for the number, you erased it. So when we are searching for the number 5, the value of n will be 0, right?
Now, when we are searching
The,
for the number 5, say this way, let us have a previous value as 3. Okay, ma. This is the initial things. N is 3. These are the elements and this is the element which we are searching for. Okay. What is your doubt?
then when we reverse back, like the 3 minus 1, 2 will come, that time we'll search 15. Then 1 will come, we'll search 10. Then it
Hmm.
will become 0. Then that
Hmm.
time instead of searching 5, it will return minus 1.
How it will return minus 1?
Ma'am, so the first condition is n is equals to 0, right?
Okay. Let us check it once again. Okay. Now, this is the initial things. These are the initial things.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me write it in this way. I think it would be better if we can put it in an Excel sheet so that you can see. Or here only I can show you. Okay. Now this is initial stage. This time it will go into a one more time linear search. How shall I write here? Let me write it other way. 1 second, just a second. The initial values. Okay. Now, first time when we call the linear search ls, this time we pass a. Okay, I will just change the values of n and element. This time the n value is 3 and the element is 15. Sorry, element is 5. Okay. Now, definitely this time this particular algorithm will not be true. Here also it will not be true. It will go into a linear search. In this stage, n minus 1 will be passed for the next time. So next time, the ls will be called by passing a. Okay. And what will be the n minus 1 here? 2. And then 5. Okay. So this time also at position, this is the n value. This is not the index value. This is n value. Okay. So n is equals to 0? No. Element at n minus 1. N minus 1 means what? 2 minus 1, that is index 1. So at index 1, is it the element? No. Means call once again. So ls a. Okay. N is 2. N minus 1 is what? 1 and 5. Fine. Now there are only one element in the array and we are trying to search for. Now n value is 1. N equals to 0. Is it condition is true? No, condition is not true. It will go into this state. Now the element, understood this state here? The n value is 1. N value is 1, but n is equals to 0. Condition is false. It will move on to the next else block. In this else block, the element, that is 5, is it equals to a of n minus 1. N value is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. That is 0th index. So the 5 is equals to 5. Yes, it is true. Since it is true, what it should return? N minus 1. N is what? 1. 1 minus 1 is going to be 0. 0 will be returned. So is that true here? Is that element 5 is present in the position or index value 0? Yes, it is present and the index value 0.
Okay, sir, got it now.
Got it, right? So
Yes, sir.
probably confusion was this particular state, this n and n minus 1. Remember that the n here in this algorithm, n is number of elements, is the number of element. It will return minus 1 when the number of elements have become 0. Means we start from the last element, and linearly we will try to search in the backward direction, and we reach to the first element and still that time we don't find the element. Then as per the algorithm, the next value of the number, that is n, will be taken as 0. 0 means total number of elements, not the index value. So when the total number of elements have become 0, that n is equals to 0 becomes true and we return minus 1. Understood? Any doubts, students, here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So just quickly take a snap of this one. Let me put it here. Take a snapshot of this algorithm and you can write it in your Facebook. By the way, have you taken this one? First take this one. First take the exercise. This exercise number is what? 6. Wait a moment. Exercise number 6. Now.
Yes, sir.
Take this one first. This is a iterative. Take a snapshot of this one. Okay. Now I will just scroll it down to the second one, that is recursive. So in the recursive, let me put it on screen. Yes. Take a recursive, a snap of this also. Right, this one. Now, for tomorrow's class, I will give you a homework. Okay, the homework would be what? Write it down. Write an iterative and recursive algorithm to find the value of x raised to n. X raised to n, that is x power to n. You need to write the algorithm that is iterative as well as recursive to find the value of x raised to n. Do not make use of the inbuilt functions like the power functions and all. Don't use those things. Manually, you need to write yourself. You need to have probably when you are writing a recursive algorithm, you should have two algorithms, again, two procedures. One is the main and the second one is for the calculating the power, that is x raised to n. Okay. Now, there are certain conditions here you need to look for. X and n. So x is what? Base. And what about n is the power. Right? When x is equals to 0. When x is equals to 0, what is the value of x raised to n? When x is equals to 0, x raised to n is what? 0 raised to anything is what?
1.
1.
0 raised to anything is 0, guys, not 1. 0 raised to any number is 0. Okay. Then second is, suppose this is when x is equals to 0. This is when x is equals to 0. Next one is when n is equals to 0. When n is equals to 0, x raised to n is what?
1. 1.
Is 1, because any number raised to 0 is going to be 1. Now, interesting part. When x is 0 and n is also 0, that is x raised to n is what?
0.
0.
1.
So we are getting the values as 0 and 1, because these are the only two possibilities, right? When x was 0, we said that it is 0. When n was 0, it was 1. But now both are same, both are zeros only. Then what is the answer? Is it 0 or a 1? The answer is 1. The answer is 1. Okay. Now, what you guys can do is that try to write your own algorithm, your own logic. Okay. Then we will see whether that is correct or not. Okay. Don't go and search in Google. If you search in Google, Google's competency will increase, not yours. If you write your own, then your competency will increase. Okay, don't update the Google's database, update your own database. Fine, will you try, students, writing the iterative as well as recursive? First write down the iterative and then go for a recursive. Okay?
Yes.